Waiting for Andrew to come past on Hero, which is famed as one of the most uncomfortable coaches we've got in this country. As you can see, the cars are rather unique. Lying on your belly like a seal position. Andrew's looking very thrilled about life. Off he goes. Up the rather unusual spiral lift hill. Getting his verdict on this. So Andrew, tell us, what was Hero like?
I'm not even going to try and be clever about it, it was awful, god awful. The restraint system is appalling, the position that it holds you in when you're in the flying position, literally it pinches your shoulders, so it's like grabbing your flesh. There's also a lump of metal, which as your arms come through the restraint and you hold onto the bars for your security. It dug into my arms, as you can see there. That's just the mark from about however long the ride is, 20 seconds. The inversions are the worst I've known on any ride ever. It literally doesn't give you any warning, it just throws you around into them. You're bashed around, there's no comfort, there's no support. It's just like you're literally lying in a solid lump of metal being rolled down a hill. God awful.
Alright, that was pretty clear, thank you. So I've just been on Mumbo Jumbo, which has a over vertical drop and took the record from Saw the Ride at Thorpe Park, I believe. It's actually really enjoyable. It's a bit like a wild mouse, but with inverts. A lot of fun. Off goes Andrew. So Andrew, how was your experience of Mumbo Jumbo?
It was good fun, very smooth. Obviously it's 2009 ride, so relatively new, 10 years old, although maybe not that new. Yeah, good fun. As people have said before, I think I prefer it to a Eurofighter, just because of it's much smoother and you expect less, so you get more out of it. Only issue I had was probably just more to do with my body shape. I felt it on my collarbone a little bit because, of course, you put on your shoulders quite a bit. But S&S restraints, that's just how they are. Anybody who did Slammer would know exactly what they're about. So, but no, on the whole, very, very good ride, good fun.
Just waiting for Andrew to start there on the what I consider hilariously named flip flop. Be interesting to see how he compares it to Eagle's Claw at Lightwater Valley, just down the road. Giving this one a miss as I tend to get a bit nauseous on spinny flat rides. It's okay, Sydney. seem to forget that if I put my hand in front of the lens, it will appear in the film. It's the kind of professionalism you couldn't expect of coastal over here. Okay, Andrew, how was Kumali, and most importantly, how did it compare to the Odyssey, which we know you liked very much?
Well, first of all, the ride itself, very, very good, as is apparently well known to people who've been on it. It's one of the good ones, one of the good SLCs. Obviously, there's two types, good and bad ones. Very, very rapid. I was on the back row. Ideally, I would have liked to have gone on the front row, but of course that was already taken. So I went on the back row, probably pulled over the top. It's not as steep as Odyssey, but literally the first thing or the last thing I remember was going over the top of the lift hill, and then it was just like a blur basically. Got bashed around a little bit. I don't know if that was to do with being on the back or my head position, although the restraints are slightly different from the ones on Odyssey. So I had a little bit less freedom of movement, which for some people is a good thing. For me, I prefer to be able to just sort of readjust myself if need be. So I wasn't so taken with that, but it's kind of much of a muchness with an SLC. So yeah, on the whole, really, really good ride. Great for the park. Probably the most thrilling coaster here over velocity, just. But compared to Odyssey, it's not really that fair because I've only ridden Kumali once. Obviously, Odyssey I've ridden several times. So I probably need to ride it again. On first showing, no, I'm still more of a fan of Odyssey just because of the first drop and just basically the pacing of the elements on Odyssey. I much prefer it. But other than that, really good ride.
Thank you. So just to add my verdict on Kumali, first of all I wanted to give a shout out to the theming. See, within the queue line there was sort of fake fossily bits in the concrete on the floor, which I thought was really nice. And then just to add on what Andrew said, I really liked the restraints on Kumali. I felt a lot more secure. I like to feel super snug in a harness and a restraint, which I did on Kumali. I felt a lot more secure than I did on Odyssey. So for that, I preferred it to Odyssey. However, it's not as high, it's not quite as thrilling, but it's still really, really good and worth a go. So our closing thoughts on Flamingo Land, we're just doing now that we've got home, because we had a busy day that day and just wanted to get back. We were a bit worn out. So overall, really impressed with the park. It was really clean, nice and bright, and everything was in good order, and it was well spaced out. Everything was reasonably close together, but not too close together that you felt crammed in like you can do at Chessington. Andrew?
The park's themed areas were fantastic. Potentially you could make a natural assumption of a park such as Flamingo Land that obviously started out basically as more of as a wildlife park and then has sort of evolved into being a resort, as they call it. You maybe might assume that they would sort of slapdash things together a bit, but absolutely not. Everything was fantastic. Each individual themed areas, and they were individually themed areas, not just areas that they'd put a few bits and pieces in, were done really, really well. The rides fit in with each area. Particular kudos to like the African bit with Kumali and Mumbo Jumbo. Really, really nice, particularly as Carly said during when we were actually at the park, Kumali's the theming of the track and everything was fantastic, and the queue line in particular. But no, my overlasting impression of the park was they've put a lot of effort in, lots of places to eat and drink.
Yeah, there were loads of seats actually.
Absolutely. I mean, you can go to Alton Towers, particularly in Forbidden Valley. All they've got is now is obviously just the hole in the wall vendors and about a couple of benches, which is absolutely useless, particularly if you've got a baby to feed and yourselves as well. So massive big marks for Flamingo Land for all that. The other thing that we just wanted to mention as well was we don't know if it was just particularly on that day with it being a quieter day, not all of the ride photo points were open. There was only certain rides that did have their sort of photo people there, which that's fine. We understand staffing levels and things reduced on quieter days. Kumali though had we'd never seen it before. A touch screen self-service on-ride photo thing. Now obviously it doesn't print them for you. What it does is you put £2 in, £2 coins, and you put your email address in, and it automatically and instantly emails your ride photo to whichever email you put in. So that was a really, really nice little thing. Now in the summer we're thinking it might get a bit busy and a bit fraught there, but in all fairness, Carly made a good point earlier that at any theme park at the normal photo points, you're going to get into a bit of elbow fights with people. So That was a really, really good idea, and it worked a treat. We both used it. Unfortunately, when Carly used it, her first photo attempt came through and it was corrupted. The image wasn't visible, so she had to do it again. So that was £4
Yeah.
that she had to pay.
You do need to have the correct change. Well, not the correct change, but you need to have change on you as well, which is a bit of a pain. It'd be nice if it accepted contactless payments as well.
Yeah, that would be good.
But other than that, I thought it was a really good idea. And it's straight to your email. You know you've got it, and you've not got to worry about getting onto Pixelve and checking that when you get home and finding out that it's not there. And also, I would say that the staff were really friendly and really nice, and there's plenty of them. The operations were pretty good on the most part, considering I think it was probably slightly busier than they were expecting it to be at that time in the week. There were quite a few school trips and things. So, yeah, overall, really great park. Looking forward to going back there again.
Absolutely.